Alrighty, folks, welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing. Actually, we're going to pause it really quick. Let me get this thing recorded. All right, folks, welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude Podcast. Folks, today we're going to be talking about database marketing, but specifically how we can market our database in Facebook through creating groups. One of the problems, or let me just paint the picture for you really quick. First off is that your database does not hang out on your business page. You are not that cool and they are not going to follow you around the internet. You are not a celebrity. But the problem with marketing your database on your personal page has always been the algorithm. I'm not sure the exact algorithm today, but I do know it's like 1 in 5 or so people see your actual posts, which means about 80% of them are not seeing them. And that's all going to depend on how much you actually use Facebook, how many people you engage with, how many people like and comment on your stuff, and you do it back. So what we're going to be talking about on today's episode is how can you reach more of your sphere of influence and how can you stay in front of them by creating Facebook groups. So our guest today joins us from the South. And she sort of discovered this accidentally, and she's going to come on board here and share her secrets. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our guest, Mrs. Jen Burns. Jen, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. I want you to go ahead and please tell our listeners who you are, where you're located, and we're going to get through the interview here.
Okay. I'm Jen Burns. I've been in the real estate business for about 12 years. I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. And right now I'm a solo agent with 2 part-time admin. Last year did about 78 transactions for about 19 million in volume. And the private groups is kind of one of the main things that I use to work my database.
And how long have you been in production selling?
Well, 12 years.
12 years? Okay.
Yeah.
So how long until you really, before we got on this call, folks, you moved away from Baton Rouge and then you moved back without a sphere of influence? Because one of the biggest questions that I get a lot is like, hey, Mike, so what we do with videos, we nurture video content to their sphere of influence. So we stay extremely relevant and we farm database through video content in our business. But the problem has always been like, how do you just sort of stay in front of them, whether you're doing that with video content, whether you're doing it through text messaging, whether you're doing it through that. And the other question I always get is, Mike, I don't have a sphere of influence. Folks, everyone has a sphere, even if you are new to an area. It's just that you have to open your eyes and sort of widen it out. But if you are coming to a brand new market, you have to think outside the box a little bit. So you came back into Baton Rouge. You're like, I don't really have an SOI. What year was this?
It was like early 2011.
Okay. And so in 2011, then you're like, I got to start forming an SOI.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
So walk me through sort of what happened first.
Okay. So I'm from Baton Rouge, grew up here, moved away for 20 years. My husband's job brought us back here. So started real estate here and really had no SOI. So I started pounding the phones, calling expires. That's back in the Craigslist days where they had, clickable links and all of that. And so that's kind of how I built my business. But I was very intentional of everybody that I met and everybody that I closed and reconnected with through Facebook from high school and things like that. Those people became my sphere. So it grew slowly over the first couple of years. And when I first started working my sphere, I had 20 or 30 people in there. So my, I guess, tactic for working them is I love to give small gifts, invite them to different things, because I just feel like that's a more genuine connection and building the relationship of giving, law of reciprocity and inviting them to things. They're going to answer my calls instead of, just asking people who they know that needs to buy or sell or invest in real estate.
Let me stop you really quick. I want to do a couple things I want you guys to pick up on. She started her database with 20 or 30 people. Folks, if you are in this position where your database might not be big yet, you still have to start creating one. The clients that you close today become referral sources and repeat business tomorrow. So the fact that you have to build your network at some point, I love that. Thanks for sharing that. Secondly, she said something else that was extremely important. I want to make sure that you guys pick up on. And it's that everybody that you know or you come across is part of your sphere. So often I see so many agents, and we'll build their database, right? We'll build their whole network, and they'll be like, oh, I won't put on my cousin Billy because he's not a past client. Folks, you do not only market past clients, okay?
Right.
Everyone's
Correct.
a client. Tell me if you agree with this statement. The biggest disappointments in our business on the daily are our own family members and best friends when it comes to people cheating on us with other real estate agents.
That's right.
And it's not because of we're bad real estate agents, or you're a bad real estate agent, or whatever. It's because of two things. Either one, they don't remember what the fuck you do, or two, they don't have trust in what the fuck you do yet.
Right.
Which is why you have to create content around your brand to earn that.
Correct.
In either case, it comes down to not knowing, a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, 100%.
So you have to look at every single person. Here's what I love most about the real estate business is that every single person's a future client. It's not a matter of if they're going to move. It's a matter of when. And statistically speaking, that's like 6 to 9 years, depending on what geographic location that you're in. But that's a mathematical fact. People move, folks. 10 to 15% of the population moves each and every year, and 100% of the population knows someone who's moving. Memorize those numbers, tattoo them on your forehead. I don't care. Jen understands that. And she started, let me ask you this. Did you get burnt out on the cold calling, the Craigslist, the prospecting, the all of the like quote unquote like chasing after deals that we're also taught to do from 1965?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You do what you have to do, right? At that point in my business,
100%.
I didn't have a lot of money to invest in online leads. So I had to go through those sources that just took more time, and you had to pound the pavement, but nobody wants that business long-term.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for most people because you will eventually be burnt out. A business built on leads is a house of cards waiting to fail. You will not last long-term in this business without building a brand of people who know, like, and trust and love you, unless you are freaking the Terminator, because that is the grind. Prospecting every day. There's some of you guys that can do that, but most people just aren't wired that way. So talk to me.
Yeah, especially with me, like being an individual agent, with internet leads being like a 1 to 2% conversion rate.
Yep.
That's fine if I need 100 leads to convert 1 or 2 of them. But I'm by myself. So month 1, maybe I can follow up with 100 leads, but month 6, I cannot follow up with 600 people adequately. And these are leads that take 6 to 12 months so then I'm having to buy a bunch of different software and develop all these systems to chase down. You're still chasing down those people.
Totally.
They're not returning your calls and text, right off the bat for the most part.
So here I have in my hand here a statistic that my friend Tristan Ahumada just published this morning. And this is the 2019 profile of home buyers and sellers. And it's all about where people sourced their real estate agent. Okay. So 41% of buyers, 41% of all buyers were referred to their agent. That's 41%. First-time buyers were 51%. Repeat buyers, 35%. That means 35% of people who already bought a house with an agent previously were referred to another agent because their previous agent didn't stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
12 to 18% is repeat business. So we're over 50% gap of where closed business comes from. It comes from people that already worked with you in the past or that you were referred to. Now, this is interesting. As we go down the gamut here, website, 5%, telephone, 4%, like all of the stuff that dominates 90% of the conversation in any of these Facebook groups is quote unquote lead generation stuff, the autoresponders, the super text, the double calls, all of this shit. It counts for less than 10 to 15% of closed business.
That's right.
That's insane, folks. Like, you cannot run a business that way, in my opinion. But I love that you figured this out because you realized you had to build a brand. You used lead generation to develop your SOI, which is where it's all about. And that's the way you have to look at lead generation. You're developing relationships. Some will be ready now. Some will be ready in 6 to 9 months. But when you're playing the relationship game, it always creates a positive ROI.
Yep. 100%.
how do we get into, all right, so we beat the point up, all right? We beat it over the head with a freaking cell phone. Now, let's talk about how did you get into this Facebook group thing? Now,
okay, yeah, so
walk me through that.
okay, so eventually, my database did grow, started closing deals, meeting more people, putting them in the database. And so I was like, well, I don't really have the budget to do what I was doing for 30 people for 100 people. So, and then my greatest fear was to they teach you to do your like A, B, and C clients and like do more for your A clients. Well, my greatest fear was I'm going to do something for my A client. My B client is going to see it on Facebook and they're going to feel like a B client, right? Because they're going to be like, well, she gave that to that person and I didn't get that. So maybe I don't mean that much to them. So I'm like, how do I continue, doing what I'm doing with gifts and contests and things like that on a bigger level? So I was like, well, what I'll do is I'll just buy 20 crawfish trays, sets of crawfish trays. That's one of the things we give away. And
I love that. You would only do that in Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, I'll go on my Facebook page and say, okay, this is for all my friends or my clients, past clients, referral partners, first 20 people to say, I love crawfish. You'll get a set of crawfish trays. We'll deliver them to your house. And I would just have all these crazy people that I didn't even know, like try to get in on my giveaway. And like my clients weren't even getting it. So I was like, there's got to be a way that I can just focus on these people. So that's when
you had to get, so really quick, guys, this is the basics of online marketing. Okay. Give away free shit. It's called a lead magnet.
Yeah.
You give away something that your audience would like. In the relationship building, it's a gift. I love that.
Yeah.
And you had a bunch of random people. You're like, who the hell is this dude? Like, I'm not going to drop
realtors,
off crawfish this guy.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I put everybody in a private group. So I have about 250 people in my private group, and I'm very selective of who goes in there because, I don't put like random internet leads in there, or they've got to really know me. They've got to either be in my sphere. I just don't let just anybody in this group. So now in the group, we just try to make it engaging and fun. We're constantly having like contests like that or giveaways. For the national championship, we'll say, all right, you guess the score, we'll give you a $50 gift card to Walk-Ons, which is a sports bar here. Or, we have a balloon festival. I'm like giving 10 tickets away to the balloon festival, post this if you want to be in the raffle. And so everything is like
you're gamifying it. Love it.
Yeah, everything is a game because I'm never, to them, I'm really never in charge. Whoever's the first 20 people that say it, they get it. But when we do the raffles, I hope none of my people hear this, but I do kind of try to pick on the raffle side people that, like, if I haven't heard from you in 6 months and all of a sudden you say you want something, then I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to make sure you get that so I can reconnect with you.
100%.
Because there's people that want every single thing we give away, and those are raving fans.
I absolutely love this. Tell me really quick, or tell our listeners really quick, why more people see your post within a group.
I think from what I've heard, the algorithm with Facebook is going more towards groups. And what we post is we try to drive people to engage with us. So the more they engage and they're in a group, Facebook thinks if you're in a group, you want to see that stuff more. And so, our posts, we're getting 150, 180 people see it. Now, maybe only 10 people comment, but
yeah, but 180 out of 250.
Yes,
you don't get that. This is media, folks. Like, this is a number of touches. You got to remember, it's a really busy world out there. And if you're not staying in front of your network, I promise you there's another realtor who is, and somebody, some way, shape, or form. So you have to remain omnipresent. The things we're doing with video today is just the most impressionable way to stay relevant. That's all it is. A video is going to create more attention than a text or an image.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of how much impact that you're looking to get. But look at that, 180 out of 250. That shows you at about a 70 to 80% rate. Now, your personal page, again, don't quote me if these stats aren't up to date, but I'm pretty sure they're right on. Is like your personal page only receives about 18 to 21 percent of your people will see your stuff, and that's going to change per person. That means just 1 in 5. I mean, the reason why we upload your entire database to your Facebook account is so that we could reach them via ads. But what you're doing inside the group is ad free. You're not spending money to
No.
go out and do that, which is why it makes a lot of sense. And you're bringing your tribe in there and you're gamifying them. And
Yeah.
who cares if you get 5 comments? All I care is I get seen.
Yeah, that's right. And it's so easy to communicate with everybody. If we're having a client
Totally.
event, we put it in there. If, last night we had a freeze, I can post, hey, check your pipes, wrap your pipes, and it's better than email, because email people check with a delete button. And here, if they don't want to see it, they just scroll by it and it's not intrusive. But they know that I have their backs, and I'm trying to keep them, hey, if you got a pool, make sure the pump's running, or hey, it's termite season. This is what a termite looks like. If you have termites, I have a guy that can treat that for you. Give me a call. I mean, I had 10 people call me for termite treatments when we did that video. Or, just try to, and everything that we give to them is we try to add value to them. We try not to do like cheesy, like we don't put our logo on everything because it's a gift. Like it's not a promotional item, it's a gift. So if I want people to use it and go out into the world and tell their friends about it, I want their friends to say, hey, where'd you get that? Oh, my realtor gave it to me, so.
The top gifting gurus in the country, I've met a couple of them, like guys who run like gifting companies. Like this is what they do for a living. One guy in particular, I won't say his name, but he spends like 10 grand on a gift. If the end result, if the relationship's worth $1 million, they'll spend 5 grand on a gift. The gift giving thing is, think about it. Like, folks, think about the last time someone gave you anything. Subconsciously, you feel like obliged to return the favor.
That's right.
It's a gift of would you call it the power of reciprocation?
Law of reciprocity.
Law of reciprocity. Yes, that's exactly what happens. I remember I watched this, one of my favorite Gary Vee videos I've seen. I don't know if you remember this, but he did an event, the first Agent 2020 event he did in Miami. So there's like a hidden clip, and he's sitting there in the bar. This is like sort of off scene. He's sitting there in the bar, and he's talking to a couple agents are crowded around him. Tom Ferry's sitting next to him, and Gary Vee said something along the lines like this in Gary Vee fashion. What the hell are you doing? Fuck that. Go out, get 100 people, and I want you to send every single one of them a fucking gift. In about 6 months, you will not be complaining about a lead generation problem. Like they're gonna send you business. Like, and it just makes such common sense.
Yeah.
But we go down the gamut with all of these shiny objects
Yeah.
about doing business. Like when people are buying and selling the biggest financial investment of their life, they do that with someone they know, like, and trust.
That's
and
right.
once you realize that, the goal, like when you're building a brand, is to become the most known, liked, and trusted realtors. When you buy them a bunch of cool gifts or just fun gadgets, and you're all over the place with them, and you're having fun with your marketing, you're not really pushy and you're not selling them, you start attracting business, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also about staying in relationship, right? Because, we all go through different seasons in our lives. And if, I worked with you, and then, 5 years later, your daughter or your son joins the soccer team, and their new best friend on the soccer team, their mom is a realtor, and you haven't stayed in relationship with those people, the conversation is going to go one of two ways. Oh yeah, we're looking to sell our house. Can you help us, to the new soccer mom friend? Or it's going to say, oh my God, do you know Jen Burns? She's our realtor. She's awesome. So we just lose people because not because they don't like us, because they just enter a new realm of their life, a new phase of their life. And it's not their job to stay in touch with us. It's our job to stay in touch with them.
I love that. Let's put this into an example, a real life example that we could all relate to. This is an example I like to use, and it makes a lot of sense. You must stay present for this reason. So let me use an example a lot of us can relate to. So I graduated college in 2002. One of my friends that I used to hang out with, like this is like my frat buddy, get drunk every night together, go on spring break, chase girls together. Like this is my ride and die wingman, right? 19, 21 years old, hung out every day for 3-4 years. We graduate college, we turn into adult instantly. Now, I graduated college 2002. Today's 2019. That was 17 years ago. When you graduate, you sort of lose a lot of those relationships, right? So my friend, his name's Matt. I see him every other day still on Facebook. And I see him today now posting pictures of his kids and his family and the things that he's doing and all this cute, fluffy stuff. Now, my question to you guys is this, is because I consistently see Matt and I see the personal pictures of him that aren't always talking about partying or any of that, I'm seeing the human side of him. If I saw him today in a grocery store, I would stop and give him a hug like I just saw him yesterday from 2002. Okay. But if I didn't see him for the last 17 years and I walked past him in the same grocery store, and let's say Facebook didn't exist, I could equally not even know who the fuck he is.
Yep.
That's called because he stayed in touch with me mentally through visual imagery and all of that. And you're doing the same thing. You're doing visual imagery, gift giving, gamifying. This is awesome. And you're just doing it in front of the right people. A lot of us, Jen, feel like we have to go out and speak to hundreds of thousands of people. And therefore we create this blanket spray and pray type of marketing strategies that someone, for whatever reason you form in your head, that's a good idea. But look at Jen right here, has 250 people that she just makes sure they know what the hell she does. And she's getting 78 closed transactions when the average agent only closes 6. Yeah. This isn't about working hard. It's about working smart. Yeah. Like, do the numbers. 250 people in her group that shower her with her love and referrals. Why? Let's say them again. 10 to 15% of those people are moving this year, and 100% of them have a referral for you.
Yeah.
If you just shower them, you've turned them into your sales force.
Yeah, I mean, they feel like they know me. It's kind of like, have you ever been to a conference and you're in one of these real estate groups and you're just kind of lurking around and you never comment, you never like, you never whatever, but you're paying attention, you're listening to the people, and then you go to a conference and you see that person and you're like, oh, I need to go say hey to them.
You feel like you know them 100%.
They don't know you, but you know them because you feel like that. There is no way that there's no better way for realtors to stay in touch with hundreds of people at one time.
Yep.
Than this.
I agree. Talk to me about your posting strategy, the frequency side, like on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
To keep the group going. Like how often do you have to post? Like, do you have a gift giving thing? Like once a month, is there a gift? Walk us through that a little bit.
The gifts thing is kind of random. We try to do once a month once a monthly for like our bigger pop by type gifts. But, if it's National Book Day, I'll pick a book that I like and say, hey, it's National Book Day. This is my favorite. If you're interested, I got 5 copies to give away. Boom.
I like tying it to the holidays. Like it's an easy excuse to do anything. Turkey, give away a turkey.
Yeah. So last year we did National Donut Day. We said the first 5 people to say, donut judge me, I'll bring you donuts to work.
That's fun.
Well, so I brought 5 of my clients, it doesn't have to be 25 people, just 5 people, but I brought them a dozen donuts. Of course, they shared them with their people. I was going to say,
and how many of them took a picture on social, then shared that?
And
probably
posted
3 out of 5.
Yeah. And their coworkers are like, who brought these? Why do we get donuts? Oh, this is my realtor brought these by, So
if she had that conversation with 10 to 15 people, one of them's moving. There's a potential referral opportunity.
That's right.
Interesting. And then what about the rest of the month?
So we post about 15 days a month. So about every other day. Yeah.
Okay. And are you posting just like text images? Are you posting just quotes? Are you posting?
We're posting a lot of different stuff. We post, if there's something going on in town, like just let them know an event going on. We post riddles because we want to engage them. Some of our best posts have been like candy corn, love it or hate it. And then like the engagement on that was huge. Or Peeps, it's a controversial thing. Like, do you like Peeps in Easter? Like, we had 36 posts on, do you like Peeps? And like people loving and hating them.
That's funny. Why do people hate Peeps out of curiosity?
I don't know.
They're like little cute little yellow birds. You can't get mad at them.
So we post like every other day. And what we do is we go into Canva. And so I create a calendar for the whole year. So I look up all the national days, and like January 1st next year is National Whipped Cream Day. We're doing a post on like, it's National Whipped Cream Day. How are you celebrating? And we're just waiting to see what the feedback is on that.
And all you got to do with that, and you're not just posting just in a group, you're putting on all your profiles too, right? Like,
no,
are you posting?
I'm just posting that in my group. Yeah.
Oh, man, I bet you if you put that all on Instagram, you'll start working that work for you, and Facebook.
Yeah.
I would just double it all up. Post in the group first and foremost. That's really cool. Then all you got to do is just put your logo underneath it, and then there's the brand.
Yep. Yeah. So we make an image in Canva. So we make it look pretty and engaging. It's a nice image. We put our logo on it, and we put things like what the interest rates if they dip, but we put money saving tips, because we want these people to save money so they can buy a bigger house, right? So it's all just kind of, we do ask for referrals every once in a while, but very little of it is like, this is a market update for you today. Like,
Nobody cares.
That.
Please don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's none of that. It's really just, hey, I'm your friend. I want to be in a relationship with you, and let me provide you some content that you might think is interesting.
Super cool. Super, super cool. I think that we pretty much got everything out of this interview. I mean, I have one more question, then we get to this wrap. Last question is, how'd you get people to join the group? Did you just add them? Did they join? Did they have to accept? And is it a private group? Is it a closed group? I know people are asking me, what's the settings on that?
Yes, it's a private group. Back when I created the group, it was back when you could just add people. So the majority of my people, I just added them. The people that I'm training to do this now, you are having to send an invite. So like a little pro tip, if you're going to go out and start a group, is if you got 200 people, invite like 20 people a day. Otherwise you'll go to Facebook jail. They think you're spamming people or something like that. So just kind of take your time of adding people in there. And then if they don't accept, follow up with a DM. Hey, I've got this really cool group. You're one of my VIP clients. I really want you in here. Can you accept this invite? And it gives you a reason to contact these people, text them, call them, remind them, try to do whatever you can do to get them in the group.
Dude, I would pay to run ads to my database to get them in the group all day. And I would create a video that says, hey, join my group right here. I give away a bunch of free stuff. Join the group. It's not spam. I'm trying to reach you. And I would say, hey, I'm trying to reach you. Literally, join my group. And I would get them all in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I never thought of that.
Video, email, join my group. Like, dude, that's it. Like, and even like it's part of your agenda. Like when you go to closing, join the group. Like, are you sitting there with them? Like, it's really, really powerful. Folks, I want you guys to understand that what you just heard was extremely, extremely powerful. And I learned quite a bit on here. I love this concept with the group. It's just an easier way to get more eyeballs from the most important asset. It's your database. Don't overthink this stuff, folks. This is not rocket science. This is good old relationship building. The same way that you maintain any relationship in life with your friends is the same way you maintain it with your database. And if you always just talk about work with your best friends, I don't think you'd really have friends. That's just why you shouldn't always talk about work with your database either.
That's right.
Jen, go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about what you got going on. We'll open the floor up for you. Jen actually has a system where she can help you like do all this stuff. So go ahead and let it rip.
Yeah, we have we call it My Circle, and I was teaching this to agents, and they thought it was a great idea, but then agents get busy, and they don't post enough. They don't know what to post. They can't make graphics, and so they'll let their group sit there for a month and not do anything with it. So when I got that feedback, I was like, well, look, we have this calendar for the whole year. We've made graphics. The graphics that we make could really they can work anywhere across the country, really. So we have 180 graphics. We put your logo on them. You can buy them from us and then just schedule your post. So, I mean, your whole marketing calendar for your group and your graphics are all done for you. And we do create some, we call them the pop by gifts. So we do create them. So anybody that buys our calendar, they can also get some of these gifts that we make. That can be good for anywhere. They're not as specific as the crawfish stuff and stuff for South Louisiana, but so we've got a whole turnkey system. You can go to theworkflowshop.com and check it out, or send me a text or find me on Facebook, anything like that.
Cool. I appreciate you sharing the insight today. And folks, we appreciate you listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Folks, let me help you get on video. If you don't know what we do yet, let me make it very simple for you. All we do is we create video content, we script it for you, we edit, reproduce, and then we send them out to everybody in your database. In other words, we make you unforgettable to your most important asset, your database, and we farm your database with video content. And yes, if you want to take that to the next level and farm your local community and become the next digital mayor, we'll also run all of your ads for you on our digital side. So don't overthink this process. It's really not that hard. We speak realtor. We know how to create the content. We make it extremely easy and, better yet, very affordable for you. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and go to realestatemarketingdude.com, schedule a demo with a dude, and you'll be on the phone with me within 24 hours, and I'll show you exactly how all this works. If not, go ahead and follow us on social, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, follow us on that, and follow us on Instagram as well if you want to see all the different videos that were created for agents all around the country. And if you want to see our crazy funny videos as well, you'll automatically be receiving those. So thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Go into my website, check it out, and I'll retarget you later. Jen, thank you so much for sharing your insight today. It was really, really cool. And me and you might be doing something in the future as well. So Awesome. Thanks, folks, for listening, and we will talk to you guys